Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to Super Breakfast Friends Club.
It's already falling apart.
The show where this is what it's like.
I'm sorry.
Every week. I'm Mike.
I'm not.
And we have a third breakfast friend in the club this week who can now say hello. Hello.
What the fuck is up, Gamer Nation? Alright. I'm so sorry. Hi, my name's Elliot, aka Curious Ghosty. I'm a full-time illustrator and merch artist, part-time streamer, ranked number 7th speedrunner of Pokémon Snap on the Nintendo Switch Online. I'm not good at menuing, so I can't get much higher than that. But I think
you were
someone
higher
will
than
think
that
it's
at
impressive.
one point, weren't you?
Well, yeah, because it just come out.
Don't
You know,
sell
when
yourself
things are out
short.
longer than like the real speedrunners come in and take all the top spots, and then your third place becomes 7th.
It's still impressive.
Thank you.
I was impressed when I heard it. I'm still impressed.
Wow. Yeah.
7th is still really good.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, there's only like, what, 12 people on the board right now? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not even ranked, so
Well,
I don't
good.
even understand how to do it.
you just gotta be quick, I guess.
It's a
Quick
lot
on
of
the
leaving
draw.
stages early.
Oh.
Which is very fun.
Oh, do you have to like quit when the gate activates or something?
Yeah, so I'll give you like the first few steps. You go through the beach level, and then right when you get past Kangaskhan, you quit, and then you unlock the tunnel. And then you go in the tunnel, you take 2 photos, and then you quit, and then you unlock the apple. And it's a lot of that.
Oh, I see.
Anyway, hi,
Well.
I'm here.
Yeah. So the reason that we have invited Curious Ghosty here today is because it's the 25th anniversary of Pokémon Snap this week, and I couldn't think of anybody better to have on as our first guest.
Oh, jeez.
So, happy Pokémon Snap, everybody.
Happy Pokémon Snap!
I'm not happy about it. What do you mean it's 25 years old?
Yeah, don't tell me that.
I got it for my birthday.
I stole it from Blockbuster as a kid. I don't know. It has it written on the cartridge.
Your shame forever written there.
Property of Blockbuster. My Hey You Pikachu's the same, actually. Fuck that.
I got it a week early when Pokemon Snap came out because I headed down to Woolworths, which was my main place to buy video games at the time.
Wow, what a name.
I thought it was Pokemon Snap release day, and I looked around and I didn't see it, and then I went to the disaffected teen who was running the checkout, and I said, "Hey, do you have Pokemon Snap? I can't find it." And he went out the back to look for it, and he found it, and he brought it out to me and sold it to me. I assume, having no idea that it wasn't supposed to be on shelves yet.
I love when teenagers' workplaces, you always get the best shit.
Yeah, they don't care, and it's wonderful.
I don't. You get a bunch of 16-year-olds working at Taco Bell, that taco's stuffed.
Yeah, so I got home and I was like, it's weird that it wasn't on the shelves. It was supposed to be out, right? And then I checked my Nintendo magazine and realized it was supposed to be out next week.
You cheated the system.
I did. And that's a lesson for everybody. If you go to a place where nobody cares about their job, you can get them to break street dates. It's real easy.
Yeah, but these days they can like permaban you from online if you do stuff like that.
True.
Lame.
Yeah.
What's wrong with our society? Gatekeeping crime?
I know.
Pirate more video games.
I mean, you can just pirate all the old games. You don't even need new games. The old games are good.
There's so many old games.
Too many.
So anyway, to celebrate Pokemon Snap, we're here to look at the time that there was a Pokemon Snap tie-in in the Pokemon anime. Let's play the opening theme for the Pokemon anime again.
Wow.
Pokemon Get
遠い日の中水の中草の中森の中土の中雲の中のこのスタートの中なか大変だけど必ずゲットだぜポケモンゲットだぜマサラタウンにさよならバイバイ 仲間を増やして次の街へいつもいつでもうまくいくなんて保証はどこにもないけどいつでもいつも本気で生きてるこいつたちがいる
It's still not as good as the English one.
They're both pretty bumpin', but like
Yeah.
I can't get over the under the girl skirt part in the Japanese, no matter how many times I get there in it, and I'm just like, stop.
Yeah.
This is weird.
It is weird.
She's really distressed about it.
Yeah.
It's weird even within the context of the show as well, because Ash like doesn't care about girls.
He's 10. Like,
Yeah.
For 25 years, he's been 10.
there was a brief stint where he was 11, but then Black and White decided he was 10 again.
Cool.
Yeah.
He did in the short before the Entei movie, the one Pichu Brothers short. At the end of it, it's celebrating a year since he met Pikachu. He met Pikachu on his 10th birthday. So they, in the most roundabout way ever, were like, he's 11, by the way. We promise.
Yeah. I remember when I think people had speculated that he must be like about 13 by now when in Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah.
But then the Black and White show came out
intro.
and he expressly stated that he was 10 again, and people were like, "Oh, huh?
I
Okay."
hate everything about the Black and White anime. We're not here to talk about it, but I hate it. Okay.
Oh, well, maybe we should have you back on when we finally cover that then.
Just for some real spicy takes.
Everything is wrong.
So, Pokemon Snap came out in 1999 for the N64.
Barf.
Don't
Good year. I
barf.
was 2.
I was 9.
Yeah, we were older than 2.
Well, yeah.
The game was made by HAL Laboratory, who we've talked about a couple times.
Oh, yeah.
Best known for the Kirby games. And it was published by Nintendo and is a first-person rail shooter, basically. But it's about taking photos instead of killing things.
I mean, when you put it like that, you're not wrong, but I don't like it.
That's why, I mean, Pokemon Snap is my favorite of all the Pokemon spin-offs.
Oh, yeah. Same.
And probably just because it's so outside the box.
Yeah. I always really like, because I'm kind of known as a Pokemon spin-off aficionado in general.
Yeah.
I've played almost every single one of them. But Snap always held like a very special place in my heart, and it got me like really into the concept of photography as a whole. It just like was just so nice to spend time being like, I want to see what I can truly, capture. And I think the original, more so even than the new one that released, is so weirdly a puzzle solving game at its core as well. It really encourages exploration on a level that you wouldn't expect for something being on the rails.
Yeah, it's true. Actually, yeah, now that I think about it, with the new one...
New one's trial and error.
But there's a lot of... I mean, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of the puzzle solving in that where, they give you kind of hints about certain things that you can do, and then you have to figure out how you do that. And I still haven't done... I need to go back to it, actually, because I still have no idea how to get the photo of all of the different colored Miniors together.
Yeah, that one's tough.
I got no idea how to do it. I know it's possible.
Yes.
But
Well, yes. The game's asking you to. They're not just gaslighting you, I promise.
yeah, it's a specific quest, so it must be a thing you can do. But but I don't know.
Have you tried asking nicely?
That would probably work for you.
I don't think that it would.
Mel has such good luck with Minior. What is your thing with Minior?
What about Minior?
You and Minior.
But what? I don't know what you're referring to. I didn't think I had particularly good luck with it.
Well, you got a shiny one.
Yeah, I bred for it.
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
I'm jealous too. At least I have it in my decks because
That's
Mel
important.
handed it to me. For a
You gotta
second.
give it
Shit.
back, though. Yeah, I don't remember how long that one took. I don't remember
I don't
taking...
think it took you very long at all.
No, and I've never tried since. I was like, well, I got it. That's the end.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
That's done. Sorry.
It's so cute.
Nancy
I
drew in
need
my
it.
head.
But that's why I always think of Mel when I think of Minior, because of that.
I mean, I made a point to go out of my way and get it, because it's adorable
Yeah.
and I need it.
It's one of the most perfect shinies in the world.
It's so good. He's got such a cute little happy face.
But he's not in the original Pokemon Snap.
He should
No,
be.
and we're talking
Brought
about
him
the
in.
original Pokemon Snap. Yes, let's get back on track. So the game started development as a Jack and the Beanstalk game for the 64DD,
Yeah, remember when that was going to be a thing?
ill-fated N64 add-on. There's like so little known about that Jack and the Beanstalk game.
Yeah, I think in just like an interview at some point in time, they were like, "Oh, we were going to use some of the bean growing mechanics in Earthbound 64." You know, another game that didn't actually ever make it.
Yeah.
Too much focus on beans.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
bean grow, sure.
Yeah, that's like the only thing that anyone knows, and it's only
Yeah.
because of that interview. And it's just that they were going to use the built-in clock of the 64DD to have you grow beans in real time.
Yeah, you know, ooh, bean growing.
I apparently there were a bunch of interviews that Shigesato Itoi had up on his website about the development of the Jack and the Beanstalk game. But as far as I could tell, nobody's ever translated them into English. So if anybody
Damn.
out there knows where we can find those interviews in English, I would love to read them.
Yeah, please. I love just weird N64 era stuff. That was just
Yeah.
like such a wacky time.
Yeah.
I just want to know about the beans.
Yeah, what's the deal with the beans? But that's it was such a mystery for me for years before I knew about this development history, because Pokemon Snap opens and it just puts the words Jack and Beans on the screen, and I was like, what does that mean?
As a kid, I just accepted it as a development team. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, somehow this game developed into a photo-taking game.
Yeah.
Didn't initially have Pokemon in it.
They sure were like, oh, okay, well, somehow we've really jumped from Jack and the Beanstalk, and then we're like, okay, photography game. What the fuck is our, like, main motivation?
Yeah. I do feel for the character designer.
I really do.
I read an interview with him about how he was disappointed when it became a Pokemon game because it meant that all the characters he designed were tossed out, basically.
Yeah, it's like it was for the best, but that sucks.
Yeah.
Just keep them and use them for something else. It's bean related, of course.
Yeah, there's got to be something you can do with them. So it became a Pokemon game, and then it got released, and then you could go take your cartridge to... In Japan, you could take it to Lawson stores, or in America, you could take them to Blockbuster, and you could get your photos printed out as stickers.
I did that once. They're
Did
probably
you?
Yeah, they're probably still laying around in my old room somewhere, but I have no idea where they would be.
I couldn't do it because there was no way you could take them
Yeah,
here.
the PAL region was like, nope. There was
Yeah.
no crossover up there.
I would love to have some Pokemon Snap stickers.
Some chunky polygonal stickers.
My ultimate goal in life is to own one of those kiosks. I've had my
Oh.
eyes on them multiple times. One day I
do
will
people
own it.
still sell them?
Yes, they're still in rotation out there every once in a while.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they usually go like $700 to $1,000. So
That is
it's
not
like
as bad as I would expect.
it's not exactly. It's not that bad, and it would require some refurbishing. But one day I will own one of those, and you can come over and you can print stickers. Okay,
I wonder if it's even compatible with the PAL cartridge.
I'll let you use mine then.
You gotta take your own photos.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a deal.
Yes. This is all a trap to get you to my home to hang out.
Uh-oh, looks like we don't have a kiosk after all.
It's just a cardboard cutout.
It's just me.
I do have the, not to talk about new Pokemon Snap again, but they did that collaboration with Instamax or whatever. And it's literally just one of their little mobile printers, but there's just this, like, silicone Pikachu cover. I'm, like, staring at it right now. I have that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, the one way or another, you can get photos printed. I just,
Finally, I'll fulfill the dream that I had as a child that could never come to pass. Because I remember, like, I don't know even what I would have done with any of those stickers, but just the fact that I couldn't do it, I was so upset at the time.
Yeah, I never actually used any of the stickers because I would have less stickers.
That is my constant problem with stickers.
Yeah.
Like, for the first time, I've actually decorated my laptop with stickers, which I never usually do, but now my laptop's starting to have some issues, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
I'm going to lose all these stickers.
Not my Battletoad sticker.
Anything but that.
Well, anyway, let's talk about this show a little bit.
Do it.
This episode in Japanese is called Shatter Chance Pikachu and was written by Hideki Sonoda, who also wrote the Samurai Boy episode.
Ah, okay.
The one with the Metapod.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember.
The most epic duel of all of Pokemon history.
I think about it constantly, unironically. I don't know why.
It's very iconic for some reason.
It aired in Japan on July 23rd, 1998. This was almost a year before Pokémon Snap actually released.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Yes.
They're advertising Pokémon Snap.
The Pokemon Snap marketing was absurd. Like, they went hard on it.
Yeah, for a long time, I guess.
Yes.
But yeah, this is because Pokemon Snap didn't come out until, I think, April 1999.
Something, yeah.
So this is like a solid, 10 months early.
Yeah. In Japanese, they call him, Toru, right?
Toru, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So we open with the gang all eating Brock's rice balls by a river.
Excuse me, those are donuts?
No!
But not this time, for some reason.
Yeah, this is like...
Because when you have rice, you make rice balls.
This is the one time in the show's history where they actually were allowed to be rice balls in the dub.
They're like, all right, we're halfway through this region. Sure, rice balls.
We can't deny it.
I think it's because we actually see Brock making them this time.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's no way they could deny it.
It's a donut made of rice. What are you talking about? It's my favorite.
Where's the jelly, Brock?
Yeah, is he... I don't think these rice balls were stuffed with anything, come to think
No,
of
he
it.
puts like an umeboshi inside or something.
Oh, he might have, yeah.
Oh, did he? Okay,
Yeah.
I must have missed that. All right, good job, Brock. They did look tasty. I really wanted one.
Yeah, listen, I like rice.
Yeah. So, and somebody is watching them through a scope from the tall grass. And when Ash catches sight of it, he immediately goes to, it's a sniper.
Which is okay, since it wasn't real, then they were allowed to show the gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, they showed Brock getting shot.
Yeah. Well, they showed Ash imagining Brock getting shot. I guess
Same
that's why they
thing.
get away with it.
Yeah.
So then Ash shoves everybody out the way, knocks all the rice in the river.
So perfectly, might I add.
Yeah, it just kind of floats
Just
away in
plops
its
and floats.
in its rice barrel.
And
I
you
would've
really
gone
could have run
after
after. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go get your damn meal.
I'm not wasting rice.
Honestly, though, I was looking at it and I was like, that seems like way too much rice anyway.
No such
Well,
thing.
yeah. Okay, Brock was the oldest sibling of so many, like, he doesn't know how to cut down recipes.
Right.
I only know how to cook for 12 people.
Yeah, like, that's what happens.
Yeah, now that I think about it, this didn't occur to me at the time, but I guess it's possible that he was making the food for all the Pokemon as well.
Oh yeah, they do have quite a bit.
Yeah, we only saw Pikachu and Togepi eating them, but... Because I should say, we have for anybody who's maybe going through our Pokemon playlist right now, we have skipped right from episode 5 to like episode 57 here.
Yeah.
So there is quite a lot that's happened, and we will go back and look at some of this stuff. But there's a lot of Pokemon here now. I think the last episode we looked at, Ash just had Pikachu, Pidgeotto, and Butterfree.
Didn't even have any of the starters yet.
Yeah, and now he's got Squirtle, Bulbasaur, and Charmander too. And then Misty has like 3 or 4 Pokemon, and Brock has, I think, 3 Pokemon? No, 4. Yeah, he's got 4 as well.
right now. Yeah.
He's got Vulpix as well, so... And we do see all of them briefly in this episode, but we're not going to talk about any of them.
Can we talk about Vulpix just because I like it?
We are going to look at the episode where Brock gets Vulpix just for you.
We better.
I promise you that. We will cover it eventually.
Fine, I guess I'll stick around the show a little bit longer.
It's in the contract. Can't end until Vulpix.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep pushing back the Vulpix episodes. Mel can't stop.
Gonna skip over it, be like, I couldn't find it, I'm sorry. But here's this one about Brock doing something different.
So Ash sends out his Squirtle, which is here now, and has it spray into the long grass, revealing Todd and his camera. Toru, as he's known in Japan, is played by Kappei Yamaguchi. And this was going to be the only actor I had to research until I looked him up and realized that we've talked about him several times already.
What do you mean? Who is this?
This guy played Light in Twin Bee Paradise.
Oh.
And he's also the voice of Hifumi in Danganronpa.
Yeah.
Oh.
I watched the Japanese episode and I went, hey, wait a minute.
Did you recognize the voice?
Yeah, I know the Danganronpa voice is like the back of my fucking hand. It's bad.
It's good. That's the problem.
And in English, Todd is played by Jimmy Zoppi, also known as Carter Cathcart and Billy Beach. He goes by a lot of different names.
Maybe I should do that.
Yeah, every year just switch up to a different weird pseudonym.
Yeah.
I think I talked about being called Marquis Mustard once.
Marquis Mustard!
That's pretty good.
Yeah, why'd you give that one up?
I don't know. Something about branding and marketing.
Lame.
Yeah.
Well, the point of using pseudonyms is when you don't want something connected to your branding, right? So
Yeah.
you've got to just start doing more jobs that you'd be ashamed of.
Yeah.
And
People need to hire me for more jobs. Listen, I talked about it before. I don't have a will not draw list for commissions.
Marquis Mustard will draw anything.
Yeah, exactly. Marquis Mustard will draw anything.
Okay, good to know.
Making a mental note.
But yeah, we've talked about Carter Cathcart before because he was also the voice of Gary. I think he played the samurai boy as well.
That's funny for both of the episodes with the same writer. We got the same fella voicing.
I'm not a big fan of him personally. I like him for Gary because Gary's supposed to be annoying.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't you dare shit talk Gary.
But I don't know. I kind of find
it's a little bit of a weird casting here.
Yeah, it's he's chosen to make Todd's voice really gravelly.
Yeah,
which is an odd choice, I thought.
For a little boy.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
For a man of indistinguishable age.
Yeah.
Spent most of his life smoking.
I was just gonna say that, yeah.
Listen, Fatari's a lot of waiting, what are you gonna do? Fucking smoke a 50.
They're lured by the cigar smoke, I promise. The coffin will never see me.
Water and cameras don't exactly mix. So Taru's not happy.
He's all worried about his wet camera.
It's fine, though.
Yeah, he did protect it. He's trying to get a picture of Ash's Pikachu, and they say that he should have just asked, but he wants a natural expression where Pikachu doesn't know it's being photographed. And I get that.
Oh, yeah. No.
I'm not a fan of posed photos.
But also, that's like taking a photo. It's the difference between taking a photo of a bird and wildlife and taking a photo of someone's goddamn dog that they're next to. Like,
yes,
you are meant to ask.
Yeah.
No dog creep shots? What is this
No.
world coming to?
Listen, dog creep shots are hard to get.
They are.
I know from experience.
That's true. You've sent me a lot of dog creep shots.
Yeah, but they're always like distant and blurry.
And like at a weird angle so the person doesn't know that you're taking it.
Cryptid hunter for dogs? What are you getting up to in your free time?
Sometimes I'm at the park, and sometimes there's a dog.
And I always have to see it.
I see. I'm gonna write
Sometimes
that
the
down.
dog's doing something
So-
funny.
Dogs. Question mark?
They had this pun here where Ash mistakes the word camera for the word Kamex,
Yes.
which is Blastoise's Japanese name.
Yeah.
And then Todd has a Blastoise mask on.
He looks great, really.
Yeah, I loved
That's
it. That should just be his all the time head.
Yeah. I think it would really help with taking photos.
It would definitely help him blend in.
Yeah.
Specifically with Blastoise.
Yeah. He takes them back to his house, and he expects them all to know him as the famous photographer who got a picture of Aerodactyl. None of them have heard of him.
Yeah.
They don't know anything about it.
They're like, we live on the dirt and eat a lot of rice. Like, we don't care about people.
Yeah, none of them have smartphones.
And we're out of rice. So, like...
But Ash was abducted by that very Aerodactyl.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite jokes in like all of early Pokemon.
So you were the shameless...
Yeah. When he pulls out the magazine to show them his famous photo of Aerodactyl, and Ash is just in it. He is just in the photo, in the claws of the Aerodactyl, being carried away.
Wait, that's me.
Yeah, totally unfazed by it. Just like, hey, you got a picture of me.
And Todd's like, no, you idiot. That's Aerodactyl.
Yeah, then they put it on the computer and he zooms and enhances.
CSI zoom enhance.
Enhance.
Clearly see that it's Ash.
There's something I do want to point out,
Oh yeah?
because like very shortly after this, he shows off like all the photos on the wall. Every single one of those is in a Pokemon you can take a photo of in Snap, except for when they change angles and there's just a random Caterpie back there that they didn't show off. That's the only one.
Oh.
Everything else is photographable.
That didn't occur to me, but you're right. Those are like all...
Yeah, there's the Eevee and Chansey, Kangaskhan, Snorlax, all in the first beach episode, level. It's
all
really
from the first
interesting.
stage even.
Yeah.
That had to have been on purpose.
Right. Yeah, because
But then
Pidgey
they messed
and
it up with the Caterpie.
it was a and then there's just a Caterpie in the background, drawn terribly, and you're like, oh, that's not.
He
They
tried.
didn't put that in. It's the only one not in. Metapod and Butterfree are.
When we saw them in the background, I just focused right in on the Chansey because it seems to be the same Chansey, but it's in a completely different pose than it was in the close-up.
Yeah, you noticed I changed our little group DM icon to the Chansey.
I didn't know what it was at first. I was squinting at it like, what is this?
It was just such a weird little face. I don't know. Stupid
Actually,
looking.
I think that Caterpie... That looks like it might be like a repainting of a frame from the second or third episode.
Yeah, because it's doing
when
that
Ash
look
first met his Caterpie.
right at him.
Very, very familiar drawing.
It's just a Caterpie.
I was very into the Aerodactyl. When I was a kid and first watched this episode, I was very into the Aerodactyl picture thing because I just loved the fact that they were referencing a previous episode.
Right.
Because I grew up so much with all these cartoons that were afraid to do that.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the American shows of the 80s and 90s were a bit afraid of ever alienating anybody by mentioning an event from an episode that you weren't currently watching.
Yeah. They were very like, this is episodic in only name. It's like,
Yeah.
same base concept, new thing every day. Come on.
So I think that's a big part of what drew me to Pokemon in the first place when it first came on was the fact that it was one of the first shows I'd ever seen where each episode continued on into the next episode. At least
Yeah.
in the beginning. It did stop doing that eventually.
Yeah, then they became cowards. But then they brought it back again in recent stuff where they were like, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
They
We'll tie
definitely go
up
back and
things.
forth. There's a lot of periods of Pokemon where it's just like, he's vaguely heading somewhere, but it really doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Maybe someday he'll get there.
He's going somewhere, he wants a new badge, but oh no, Farfetch stole his bag.
What's in the GS ball?
Nothing.
Don't get me started on that.
It's not real.
We forgot. Oops.
Please do the same.
There was no war in Ba Sing Se. There was no GS ball.
Dude, now that Todd knows that he and Ash have this connection, he wants them to stay for dinner so he can get to know Ash better.
And maybe get a little picture of Pikachu.
Yeah, and he's trying to take photos of Pikachu as it's eating, making Pikachu very uncomfortable.
As
It
I
would
would
make me
be.
uncomfortable too. Yeah, like, that's a weird thing. You've invited me in for pancakes. Why are you taking pictures of me?
Because he's so
Please.
stinking cute. Did you see him with his knife and fork?
He was
Yeah.
really freaking cute and his little bib on.
Yeah.
God, Pikachu's cute.
Yeah.
Such a perfect mascot.
Really is. Pikachu and Kirby.
Yeah.
I like-
Kirby's perfect.
Just a round friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway. Let's stop daydreaming about Kirby.
Never.
Everybody offers up their other Pokemon as subjects. And they're also proud of them, but Todd doesn't want to take pictures of any of them, only Pikachu. And he won't tell them why.
It's a secret.
Can't tell you.
Yeah, so they just leave, and there's like an understanding that he's going to continue
gonna
following
follow.
them.
Yeah.
He's going to try.
He's like, I'll capture the best picture of Pikachu ever. And I was just like, okay. And then they just leave. And he's just in the bushes again.
They know he's out there, and then they're still like, yeah, he needs to learn his clients better.
Yeah.
He doesn't understand feelings.
We get a flashback of what Todd's deal is, and we see an old couple and their Meowth begging him to capture Ash's Pikachu for them. And Todd assumes that the Pikachu must remind them of one they used to have and promises to capture it on film.
He was looking at those photos like, damn, you are close. But I'll one up that.
Yeah, he's gonna get the highest scoring Pikachu photo.
Center 2 times, unique pose.
Oh, is this Pikachu with pancakes?
Yeah, half those photos were from behind. They are inadmissible.
Yeah. The Oak's
Yeah.
gonna look at that and be like, what the fuck are you showing me? What?
What is this yellow blob? That could be a Geodude.
So the old couple is Team Rocket,
What?
obviously.
You spoiled it.
Fuck, Mike, I wasn't done with the episode.
It's fine. We see them in a restaurant sharing a steak. Where did they get steak money?
They're rich old people now.
Instead of paying Todd to do work, apparently he paid them, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like the detail that they are sharing it. They can't afford multiple steaks. But even the fact that they could afford one to share is unbelievable to me.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
They had to live the lifestyle. They had to look the part.
Jesse and James fighting over the last bite, I really like.
Super good. I've noticed the Team Rocket budget kind of works like, like 50% on gadgetry, 40% on food, and 10% on shovels.
Yeah.
That seems to be the Team Rocket budget.
And then anything left, James spends on trading cards.
Yeah.
Or bottle caps.
Yeah, I was about to say paint for his bottle caps. So Jessie gets the last bite because she's the bad bitch on top.
Oh yeah, if you had asked me who would get the last bite, I would know it would be Jesse.
It's always Jessie.
Yeah.
And then they reveal that they're Team Rocket. Wow!
No!
They're like, oh man, that Pokemon getting prodigy you hired Meowth. Wow, Hopefully he's up to the job.
Meowth has read about Todd in a magazine and I guess didn't read the full article.
Right. He's kind of read about him. He's seen the name.
It's impressive he can read.
That's true.
He can talk. We're not surprised by Meowth.
Listen, I mean, he's very talented. We can't deny this.
He'll never be a Persian, but he can read.
And he'll never have a girlfriend.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say, I think maybe like the reason they have a stake, the reason they had stake money is because instead of spending the budget on a gadget this week, they just dug a hole.
Oh, you know? Yeah.
I love how excited they were to get back to digging pitfalls.
Oh, it's great, you know? It's like an old friend.
It's never worked in the past, but boy, do I feel alive doing it.
So yeah, Todd is trying to take pictures of Pikachu and failing.
Ash keeps photobombing.
Okay, he does. There's this whole like mini montage of it happening, and it's playing a version of the Follow Me theme from the games. The music that plays whenever somebody asks you to come with them. I love that song.
It's great.
It's good.
It's a good little ditty.
Todd happens across Team Rocket digging their pitfall. I think James is the one who loves pitfalls, right?
Yeah, he's hype as hell about it. And when they're they like tap a little something on the ground and they're like, "What's that?" It doesn't matter. We dug
Not
a
our
hole.
problem. We're not going to be at the bottom of the pitfall.
Yeah. And Meowth has to be like, "Get your disguises on."
Yeah, they put the wrong disguises on because they're more comfortable in.
They're so much more used to the other
opposite
way.
gender clothes.
Obviously. They're both gay icons.
They're
Yeah,
so queer.
but Meowth has to get them to switch outfits. And I love. So Todd walks up and just starts a conversation with them, and he's like, "Oh, I haven't got that Pikachu yet, but I'll get to it." And James just immediately starts excitedly telling him about the pitfall that they've done.
He's just so happy about it.
And Jesse has to drag him away before he tells them.
I love it so much that like Todd's just kind of like, "Oh, it's the old couple. Hi, yeah, I'm working on it." Like so unassuming.
Right, old couple out in the middle of the wilderness for some reason.
Yeah. And then he looks at the soft dirt and he's like, "Huh, I could use this as a great spot to wave for yeah." I love soft dirt. Yeah.
But he doesn't. Yeah, he says he's gonna take the picture from there, but then he doesn't. First of all, Todd is watching Ash and his friends approach, and he overhears Ash talking about how he doesn't understand the feelings of his subjects,
Which he repeats verbatim.
Yeah, he has a little moment about it. But what really got me here is Ash falls into the pitfall first, and Brock and Misty watch him fall in, and then they just keep walking into it.
They didn't want to get left out.
All in this together.
You see Misty react to Ash falling in. She's like, "Huh? That's weird," but she just keeps walking forwards anyway and then falls in after him.
That's true friendship. You telling me you won't fall in after Mel? You
no, I
wouldn't,
don't think I would.
I think he 100% would.
Oh dear.
I think your brain would not quite, like you would notice it, but your legs keep going.
Right, it would take you a second to react, and by that time you're already in the hole.
I can't imagine a situation where I'm not the one who fell in the hole first.
This is fair, actually. All
Good
right,
point, yeah.
Reverse. I can play hypothetical all day, but
I feel like any situation like that, what would happen is Mel would say, "Hey, there's a hole over there," and then I'd say, "What?" and then fall in the hole.
And then Mike would yell up, "There's a hole over here."
Yeah, sounds about right.
Wow, friendship is magical. So they're in the hole.
Yeah, Ash and his friends are in the hole. Team Rocket are watching. They're waiting for Todd to catch Pikachu for them. I guess they want to see how he's going to do it.
They want to see the prodigy perform.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then he just starts taking photos. And I really loved the react. Like, Jesse and James they just have a moment of quiet as they process what's happening. And then they both just go, Meowth. And just turn on it.
あいつ何やってんのなんで写真なんか撮ってんだ Yes!
And I thought that was really funny.
And he starts flipping through frantically, and he's like, sees like the best at capturing Pokemon on film.
Yeah. The funny thing is, though, like, Meowth, he doesn't seem to have any awareness that people are angry at him about it. He's just like, oh, I get the mistake. That's pretty funny, actually.
Yeah, that's some funny wordplay there.
I only read the first part of this sentence. It turns out there's a second half.
Did you guys know that sometimes sentences continue onto a second line?
What?
That's a new one.
So they punch him into space.
Yeah.
Todd finally gets a nice picture of Pikachu, but then he notices there are like some bricks that Ash is sitting on, and they're starting to crumble. And there's a sewer underneath, I guess.
He somehow just knows.
Or I guess it might not be a sewer.
It was a waterway.
It's a waterway. Yeah. It's probably just a river going through there or something.
I mean, Todd's a local. Maybe he just knows the landmarks.
Like, that's true.
Yeah.
It was his house nearby. I can't deny this.
So. We don't know where this is.
Nah.
We're never told.
It's somewhere in between generic location of a quiz league and
police headquarters.
At police headquarters.
That could be anywhere.
It could be anywhere.
Wait, hang on. Let's have a look. I'm curious now. What like in-game locations this takes place between?
I think it just exists in a pocket dimension.
That's kind of the problem, because this is post-Sabrina but pre-Blaine. Those could not be further apart.
They could be literally anywhere.
Like, they still have to go back to go over to Cinnabar, and there's like 7 ports they can go to, and they've been to all of them, so what?
So there's somewhere, presumably, around... God, I don't know. Yeah.
We're in the part of the anime where it's indecipherable. I could not tell you where we're supposed to be.
Yeah, that could be just about anywhere in Kanto south of Saffron, which is the central location.
Which is the most, so it's like, well, I don't know, we're wandering.
They don't know either.
Todd knows waterways in his local area, which is more than I could say about almost anything local to where I live.
It actually looks like it's been a long time since anything important happened in the anime at this point.
That's the it's literally, you get Sabrina, like, what? That's like in the 30s? And it takes so long to get to Blaine. It takes so goddamn long.
Yeah, because they keep getting stopped by all these old people.
The elderly getting in the way of life yet again.
Wish they'd stop throwing bombs at us.
Digging up pits.
I mean, you gotta have a hobby when you're retired.
That's true. Some people take up gardening or crochet, and, Team Rocket...
Digs pitfalls.
In their 20s, their elderly 20s, are really into the hole digging.
Hole digging and cartoon bombs.
Yeah.
I love those cartoon bombs.
It's just... Where did we get... There's so many.
Well, that's the thing. Like, when you have cartoon bombs... Storage space isn't important.
It doesn't matter.
You don't even have to stop to light them.
No. You pull it out, it's on fire. Toss it.
Yeah, so Ash falls into this waterway. Todd jumps down, chases him.
Really speedily. Like, so fast.
Oh, I can't believe he was keeping pace with him.
Yeah.
And, like, he jumps down, doesn't break his ankles somehow, and then keeps running. Like, what the hell? Photography makes you buff.
Right, he's got to chase Dodrio.
Yeah.
You're right.
So he has to use his tripod to save them. It's the only thing he's got that he can reach out to pull them out of the water before they go over this waterfall. But it still has the camera attached, and there's no time to detach it.
There's so many points in this episode where it's like, oh no, what if the camera gets damaged? And it never does.
No,
Well,
allegedly it gets damaged here, but we don't get to see that, really.
Ash still takes a photo with it.
yeah,
Well, the flash is active.
Yeah.
they definitely do take a photo with
They
it
took a
at
photo
the
after.
end.
Yeah, but it could have been another
Yeah.
camera.
It could have been.
We don't
But
know.
if he had a backup camera, why is he so worried about it?
Because each one costs like $700.
Okay,
fuck
Yeah,
you
ain't you rich?
fair. Well, no, he's not that worried. He ruins the camera, allegedly, trying to save Ash from going over the waterfall. But then Todd is just like, it's okay, I can get it repaired. So it sounds like he probably... I mean, he's a famous photographer. He probably does have a lot of money.
Yeah. Unless
He's still like
And-
12.
he is 10.
Yeah.
I'm sure that when Professor Oak takes him under the wing for the contents of the games, he goes, now for this internship, you must pay me
Right.
1 million Poke.
This is unpaid, you see.
I needed to develop this weird car.
Thank you for taking on this job for the exposure.
I might write you a good review.
I need some money to develop some tools. Here's your first one. It's an apple.
When the Pokemon report comes out and Todd gets his copy of it and it just says by Professor Oak. and
Yeah.
That's it.
God, you know, it would make Todd sound real tortured as an artist.
It's okay. He does it for the love of it. It's
He
fine.
does. He loves Pokemon.
So as Ash is climbing up the tripod, Team Rocket appear in their disguises again, purely so that they can dramatically reveal.
Yes. It's the game.
They've put the disguises on just for the reveal. Even though Ash has never seen them in the disguises, and Todd doesn't know who they are without the disguises. So
Well,
the
that's why
reveal
they're
is
all
a bit
inclusive.
pointless. I suppose so, yeah.
But they
Given
do
context
reveal.
on both sides.
Yeah, they reveal their dupery.
I guess so.
Yeah. Todd's like,
Yeah.
you're not old? Oh,
What'd you do with that lovely old couple?
So they grab Pikachu in a rubber bag while everyone's hands are too busy to stop them. And yeah, this is where James just starts lobbing bombs.
Throwing bombs. Just like at the water.
I loved it. I don't know.
It's
There's
so
just
absurd. It is the most
something-
out of pocket fucking thing that they've done in a long time.
It's some Looney Tunes shit.
It feels very video game,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Even though this is not something that ever happens in a Pokemon video game.
No, yeah, you know, the Pester Ball's as close as we're getting.
Yeah. Is there? I don't think there's any point in any of the games where someone just starts throwing bombs.
Actually, no, the closest is in Black and White 2, when they use Kyurem to launch giant ice beams. Somehow that's the closest we get.
Maybe Delibird using Present is the closest thing.
True.
That is the closest we get. A seed bomb, a great grass type move.
Yeah.
That's the closest we get.
What's that called in Japanese, though?
Seed Bomb. I think it is just called Seed Bomb.
It's possible. I'm not gonna look it up.
I will.
I'm looking it up right now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just called Seed Bomb.
There you go.
Yeah. Some of the names are accurate translations, and then some of them, like Hop, are so inaccurate that it
They're so...
confuses everybody. Because, yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, the move that we know as Splash is called Hop in Japanese.
Yeah, so when your Hoppip splashes, it's because it's a Hoppip hopping.
Yeah.
It makes a way more sense.
No, he's splashing. Don't take this from me. Z-splash.
But I guess it's because back when they first came up with the English name for it, Magikarp was the only Pokemon that could do it, so Splash made sense. But it doesn't make sense anymore.
Doesn't.
And I believe there is also a different move in Japan that is called Splash.
Yes, I believe so.
So there's like how our move Tail Whip is called Tail Wag in Japan, which makes way more sense.
Yeah.
Because it's just the Pokemon doing a cute little tail
There's
wag.
no whipping happening.
No.
There's none of that.
It's like they just wanted to make it sound more violent.
so violent how I lower your defense with my little whip, 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 whip.
Cute little tail waggle.
I think a lot of those, they changed some of those early game stat moves to sound more violent, because like Cry became Growl, Tail Wag became Tail Whip.
Lear's there.
Yeah, Leer, I think Leer might be something else in Japanese. Let's have a look. Leer is called Glare.
But then we get Glare later. Damn,
Yes.
That's called like snake glare or something, right?
Yeah. Our Glare is called Snake Glare in Japanese because it's specifically a snake. Like,
it is
all the Pokemon
heavily
that can learn it
associated
are
with Arbok.
snakes.
So
Yeah. Anyway, Ash has an idea. He knows how vain Team Rocket are.
he also knows how cartoon logic we are in this moment.
Yeah.
He's aware.
So he grabs the camera off the tripod and starts taking pictures of Team Rocket, asking them to pose for him. James immediately gets nervous about it. Jesse starts putting makeup on, and then he tells them to look to the right. And they all look to the right at the lip balm that James has forgotten he's holding.
It was a good time. I laughed.
It's a good little bit.
Really
you
made
know?
me laugh, yeah.
Well, that's a little chuckle, a knee slapper.
It felt very Looney Tunes.
The timing of it was great. The like multiple zooms on his hands were really funny.
Yeah.
ちょっと待ってよもう右向け右えチュビチュビ
And also like Jesse getting angry and kicking him afterwards.
おーけちょボロボロ何すんだよ
Really made me laugh. I love the actors. All three actors for Team Rocket in both languages
Yes.
are really good. Like absolutely the best part of the show.
Yeah, they're very, very, like, clearly having a lot of fun with the role.
Yeah. So as Team Rocket argue about the explosion they've suffered.
Just kind of made him a little dirty.
Oh, that's the thing, isn't it? Like they're throwing all these bombs at Ash, and you get the sense that if they hit Ash with them, it would have been real bad. But then you see what happened to them, and it's not that bad.
That's a difference of 10 years seniority. You know, you get bones of steel.
Yeah, Team Rocket are definitely superhuman
Yeah.
in some sense. The things they've survived.
Demigods of mischief.
Yeah, I also do like that Jessie gets mad about her makeup being ruined at James.
Yeah,
like,
they're all mad at
thinking
James, not
about
Ash.
any of this otherwise.
It was his bomb.
Yeah, I like that the anger here isn't that Ash tricked them into getting exploded. It's that James ruined the picture.
It's that James fell for it specifically and ruined the photo.
Meanwhile, Ash has finished recovering from his dangle situation.
Okay, we can go with that wording, sure.
Todd has finished pulling Ash up, and Ash sends out Bulbasaur to attack Team Rocket. And this is the point where I started thinking, where are Brock and Misty?
Listen, they start thinking it too at some point, but you know.
They're still stuck in the hole, but they didn't want to go down with Ash.
Cowards.
That's the thing. Like, we saw...
Todd fucking leapt for his life to go through.
Yeah.
And the other two went, huh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Could be anything down there. I'm not going.
I'm sure those two will be fine. The screaming that I can hear echoing, that's no big deal.
Yeah, because, like, I was thinking, even if they had climbed down carefully, they should have caught up by now.
Yeah.
But they're not here. Team Rocket are running away from Bulbasaur while an electric guitar version of the gym theme from the games plays.
行け次だね次だねハッパガッターだだにゃ今だ逃げろピカチュウピカチュウ次だね今度は鶴の文字だふっしゃー
It's rockin', we love it. OST slaps.
And Team Rocket jump in the river to escape, go over a waterfall. Jessie pauses them for a second so she can recite a poem, which made me laugh. There was kind of some Looney Tunes logic there.
Yeah, it's a little goofy, a little silly. It's a little like, who thought of this? But that's fine. I just... Why?
They stay suspended in air until she finishes.
It's very like, the Looney Tunes, as long as you don't look down, you won't fall thing.
Yeah. And then
Brock
finally,
and Misty.
Brock and Misty appear. Because
Bumble
apparently
onto the
they decided
scene.
to climb out of the hole. That's why it took
Yes.
them so long.
Yeah, it took them so long because they were like, man, I'm not going down there. They somehow managed to climb out of the pitfall, and then I guess they had to find where the water came out,
Yeah.
but they got there eventually.
They made it, after all the fun was had, the whole problem's solved, but...
Man, I sure hope there are no emergency situations that need dealing with.
Sure would have been nice to have a water Pokemon help.
Yeah. I mean, Onyx could have just picked Ash up in his mouth and placed
Gently
him.
lift. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking the whole time. He could have gotten them out of the hole.
Yeah.
I think even the showrunners kind of understand that Onyx is actually the solution to most everything, and so they never let him out.
Yeah, they do like so little with Onyx. And then for the Ruby and Sapphire series, they finally got rid of Onyx because they were
Aw.
like, we can't
he
have this
solves
Onyx around.
everything. Get him out of here.
Yeah, it's like the Charizard problem,
Yep.
where later on Ash has Charizard, and then once for a long time they solved it because Charizard wouldn't listen to Ash, but then once Charizard starts listening to Ash, it's like, well, now he's a problem for storytelling
He's
purposes.
too powerful.
Let's
Yeah.
drop him off with a bunch of other Charizards. We'll pull him out for a movie. It'll be great.
Like I remember a lot of people always had a problem with how Ash would leave behind all of his most powerful Pokemon, and I think those people didn't think too much about how boring the show would have become if Ash had too many powerful Pokemon.
You
Right,
mean like
though.
if you started a new game with your old team?
Yeah. The only times where I get like a little bit miffed is when they're really only there for 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like
way
Primate.
later in X and Y, his fucking Pokemon evolves into Goodra. He uses it for like 1 time, and then he's like, "Now stay in the swamp and protect them." And I'm like, "Huh?"
Yeah, they should at least keep him around until the end of that league, I think.
Yeah.
Like Charizard got to have his league moment
Yes, definitely.
before he went away.
After his first fuck up.
Yeah. And eventually they solved the problem by just having him enter each region with only Pikachu, which is a much better solution.
It really is. So Ash and Todd are buddies now. Kind of.
Yet they have become friends now
near
that
death experiences do that, I suppose.
yeah. Once someone saves your life, you gotta at least be friends with them for 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 episode minimum.
The funniest episodes to keep him around for the world.
I actually don't remember. I know the next one is the test episode. But
Yeah,
what-
he's around for the test episode and doesn't
and the
do anything
breeding
about it.
center one.
And then he does one good deed in the breeding center one by taking photos of the Pokemon in the cages so that when they're all locked up, he's able to be like, "See, look at these photos." And so Jenny goes, "Oh, these poor Pokemon." And then lets them out of jail.
Uh,
And then he
Oh,
goes,
Todd.
"I'm gonna go get a photo of Articuno." And everyone goes, "Okay."
oh yeah, and it takes him like 2 years to get
It
it.
takes him so goddamn long.
But he does get it.
But he does. He does get it.
I mean, he had
Yeah,
to surf all the way out there. He had to push all those boulders.
Oh no, he finds it in Johto.
No.
That's why it took him that long. He was like, you know what? I think everyone's lying. I don't think Articuno's here.
GameFAQs lied to me. Articuno is not here.
He goes to Johto and everyone's like, "You hear about Articuno?" And he's like, "God damn it."
I ate cave moss for months looking for that thing.
I learned how to communicate with the Dugong.
I was accepted into a society of Krabby.
Every day they pinched me. I know it was affectionate, but I hated it.
Just because I don't have the largest pincers.
The female Krabby wouldn't even look at me.
Yeah, He just thought he was one for a solid year.
The isolation drove him mad. He woke up one day staring into the face of a Krabby and just thought that was his life.
Why is this so tortured in our world?
Yeah, we've really given Todd a tortured history.
I'm so sorry.
Todd takes a group photo to celebrate their friendship.
It's all cute and yeah.
He slips on a rice ball that's there for some reason.
Apparently they went right back to wherever they ate food, which is why it takes them 8 million years to get to any location, because they walk in circles.
Or maybe it's just because they all got washed into the river and this is where it wound up.
Yeah, maybe.
It's just been on the bottom of someone's shoe.
Yeah, the fact that he slips on the rice ball leads to a better photo.
Where they're all natural.
Yeah, instead of all standing there posing for the camera, they're all helping Todd up, and it's cute. I like it.
It's cute. It's real cute. And it's nice because it ties into his philosophy on photo taking.
Yeah.
And so it's nice little compromise of sorts, that really solidifies their friendship. And that's definitely why he stalks them for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Although it's funny, from the way this ends, I didn't get the sense that he's joining them, because usually when someone joins Ash's group, there's a very solid I'm gonna come with you for a while at the end, and we'll see them walking into the sunset together. But this time, I remember at the time when I watched it, I was actually surprised to see Todd again.
Yeah,
the next week.
Because why is he traveling? His home's right there. He was home right now. Why?
Yep.
Where are you going, man? And we don't even get to know until he does leave where he's going. He's just been following them.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just bored.
Maybe. Yeah? Maybe he's just still trying to get that picture of Pikachu.
Well, he does make a comment about it.
He didn't put two and two together. He's I still got to do that thing for that old couple.
And then, the next fucking episode, he's I still want to get a nice picture of Pikachu. And Ash is okay.
Because he didn't actually learn the lesson that Ash was talking bad about him about learning his subjects better. That's not how this episode winds up.
No.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you would think that that's how it would conclude. But that really was just a throwaway moment that didn't come up again.
They just hurt his feelings a little bit and went on.
So anyway, that's the end of the episode. We get a new ending song.
I loved it.
Yeah. It's so cool to see the Japanese endings like that and be wow.
They are Japanese.
They are. This one was super Japanese.
Yeah. This one actually first appeared in the previous episode, which was was it the Case of the Canine Caper?
Yeah.
Was the English name?
Yeah. The one about the training school for Growlithe for the officers.
The Japanese title is Police Dog Guardi, which Guardi is Growlithe's Japanese name.
That makes sense.
So yeah,
It's
it first appeared in that episode. It's called Pokemon Ondo. These episodes would have been airing during the Obon Festival season in Japan.
That makes sense, yeah.
So we have the characters performing a Bon Odori, a traditional folk dance welcoming the spirits of the dead.
It's cute. They look so adorable, and there's Chansey, and there's a little coffin wrapping moment that was funny.
Yeah.
It's great. It was very charming.
I loved seeing Machamp on the Taiko.
Yeah! That was great.
Yeah, that was really good. Yeah, this is an Ondo filled with Pokemon puns. There is a full version of it.
I will memorize it.
This is only a mini version of it. So if you guys haven't heard the full version, I recommend it. It's great. I love it.
That's delightful. I'm so happy about this.
They've actually done various Pokemon Ondos over the years. I know of at least 2, and I wouldn't be surprised if there are more, because it's quite common that they would put one of these into the credits during Oban season.
That's so cute.
Yeah, it's nice. And we get the episode preview, which is for the famous Pokemon test episode.
Great episode. I personally rewatch the 3 episodes with Todd like so much. They are probably some of my most watched episodes.
They're all good ones.
Yeah.
And because isn't Todd's 3rd episode also the debut of Butch and Cassidy as well?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, and that's a really good. We'll definitely watch that one.
Good, because it's such a classic, honestly.
So yeah, I liked this episode. It was cute.
It's fun.
It's real charming that it's like, because like you said, this comes out like a year before the game practically.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel super heavy-handed or anything. If Pokemon Snap never came out, it would have still stood on its own, and I really like that.
That's what I was going to say, actually. This really doesn't feel like it's a tie-in for a new game. It just feels like a normal Pokemon episode.
Yeah.
If I didn't know about Pokemon Snap, I don't think I would realize that this was promoting anything at all. It would just...
Yep. It would just been a cute little gimmick thing.
Yeah.
On par with all the others.
I really like that about this episode. I wonder how conducive it was to selling copies of the game.
Especially if it came out 10 months beforehand.
Yeah.
That's fine. It made an attachment to Todd who otherwise in the game has no character.
Yes, true.
I can say that much.
Another thing I think is, like, considering how far ahead of the game's release this was, it's surprising that Todd didn't stick around for that whole year of the show as well.
Yeah, I actually would have liked to have had him around for more. He does add, like, an interesting energy to the group dynamic.
But what if it just made us tired of him, like Tracy?
True.
Oh.
I mean, Tracy's alright.
It's not his fault that they decided they didn't want Brock to look racist. He was just a little guy.
I do like seeing... I like seeing Ash travel for a little bit with people who have different goals, you know?
Yeah, I like that aspect a lot.
Something I really like about the Pokemon world is like seeing the different ways that people interact with Pokemon who aren't trainers.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't think Todd has a Pokemon, right? He's just a photographer.
How did they let him out of his hometown?
Yeah, well, that's why he had to go with Ash. It's the only way he could get past the tall grass. It's like, I've never left my town before, finally.
I do really love that, like, his relationship and love of Pokemon is specifically in natural habitats. Like, that kind of ties into his whole thing being against poses. Like, he doesn't believe in having a Pokemon anywhere else. He's like, these are beautiful creatures, and I love seeing them just living their life. And I think that if he had a Pokemon, that would kind of be counterintuitive to his, like, general philosophy.
Yeah, maybe. What Pokemon would be a good partner for a photographer?
I think in general, it would just be, like, something that would be good for maneuvering things.
Yeah, maybe.
I would think something that's good for lighting.
Yeah.
Nothing's better than natural light, I'll tell you that.
True.
Maybe just a Rotom that lives in his camera.
Frankly, Rotom would actually be really great. I was thinking, like, I kind of wanted to give him, like, a fighting type almost, surprisingly. Just because they're, like, strong and able to do a lot of different things, like climbing up the sides of hills and, getting through caves and stuff like that, but...
He needs a Machamp with one of those, like, harnesses like they have in Alola to carry people around.
Carry him in his big beefy arms.
Yeah. No, I think that's what we're giving him a Machamp. That's fine.
Or like a Sneasler, so he can hide in the basket and take photos back there.
See, I wanted to say Sneasler, but I'm like, but they're technically extinct, but not
I know.
really.
I just love that stupid creep basket.
It's so funny.
Well, the games are starting to give us more and more excuses for why they're not extinct, right?
Yeah, they're like,
oh, this certain place, here's some.
Yeah. I don't know, they're here. Congrats.
Yeah, I don't think we've been given a modern location for Hisuian, Sneasel, and Sneasler yet, but
not yet.
I know we've seen Hisuian Growlithe in the modern age, and we've seen White Striped Basculin now, so...
Yup.
Oh yeah, in that tiny forgotten lake.
Yeah.
And you too can get Overquill, because they had to change how you evolve it in the game.
Oh, yeah.
Finally, Overquill, just for me.
Yeah.
But not Ursaluna. There's no way to get Ursaluna right now.
Just get the Blood Moon one.
Yeah, you get the
Well,
point.
yeah, it's the only one.
He's pretty pretty
It's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
he's pretty good.
It's alright, I
I
guess.
like him.
That's a good episode, is all we're,
Yeah, I liked it. I
Consensus
liked
is
it.
thumbs up.
Let's talk about the dub.
Do it.
Here comes the theme song.
I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test, to train them is my cause. I will travel across the land, searching far and wide. Each Pokemon to understand the power that's inside. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all. It's you and me. I know it's my destiny. Pokemon, oh, you're my best friend. In a world we must defend. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all. Our hearts so true, our courage will pull us through. You teach me and I'll teach you. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all. Pokemon.
Wow, what a banger.
I like to play the dub theme song because we get copyright claims on it.
Yeah, that's the best.
They don't claim the original now. You know what happened was the first time we did a Pokemon episode, the Pokemon Company blocked it from appearing on YouTube at all because of the Japanese theme song. And I sent them an email and I was like, look, this is what our show is. We just play the theme song to like illustrate the theme song so that we can talk about it. We're not, uploading whole episodes or anything like that. We tell people to go and watch the episode. And I never got a response, but I think they must have whitelisted us because we never get claims from Japanese Pokemon Company anymore.
Nice, okay. Sometimes emailing works.
Yeah,
America,
that's really
however.
nice of them.
Nah,
America, yeah. We still get claims from Pokemon US, but whatever. They're not taking down the episodes, so I'll just let them claim any money that we wouldn't be making anyway.
It's fine.
No, that's my hard-earned 15 cents.
So, the dub is called Pokemon Paparazzi.
We're gonna love our alliteration.
It aired in the US on April 17th, 1999, which was still a solid couple months before the game came out.
Yeah, the English release felt a lot more proper for the lead up to the game and the timeline.
Yeah.
That does have its issues, though, since the game itself obviously was developed before a lot of Pokemon had English dub voices. So a lot of the in-game ones are the Japanese voices for Pokemon.
Yeah, which I didn't realize for the longest time.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
There are some of them that make such weird noises in the
Mhm.
game. I think Metapod
Yeah.
keeps its Japanese voice in the game, even though it had a dub voice by then. And I remember just thinking, like, what's this weird noise it made? And then we watched the episode for the show, and I was like, oh, that's the noise from Pokemon Snap. That's the exact clip.
It makes a funny-ass noise in the Japanese.
Yeah.
I think I just realized why I never knew that.
Yeah.
Because my N64 didn't have sound.
Yeah.
Oh, bud.
Yeah, we've talked about that a couple times.
That would make sense, yeah.
Yeah, Mel's N64 had busted sound.
That's so funny.
No one knows
It
what
wasn't
happened.
always busted,
No,
though,
it
right?
wasn't. It was normal when we bought it, but at some point, it just kind of died. Like, we had a really
So
old
strange.
TV that we had it plugged into, and the TV itself didn't have sound. And then, like, one time we plugged it in at my grandma's or something, and it still didn't have sound.
Do you think it just got so used to not needing to output sound that it was just like, oh, we don't need to bother?
It might have just burned out.
Fascinating.
Man.
Well, the Metapod makes a funny noise and it goes.
Yeah.
And next time I'll stand next to your TV and dub all of it for you, alright?
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I feel like there are a couple others in Snap that kept their Japanese voices, but I can't think what
There's
they
a
were
fair amount.
Metapod's the one that stands out
Yes,
to me.
Metapod has like such a front and center moment that it's obvious. Like,
I think it's because the English Metapod voice is so... It is literally just a guy going, Metapod. That's it.
Yep.
And so the fact that the Japanese voice is like... I think there's like some effects on it and stuff.
Yeah, it's got like a weird warble almost. I don't know
Yeah,
how
I
to
was like,
describe it.
whoa.
Just go play Pokemon Snap, everyone, alright? Okay, thank
Yeah.
you. Please.
I would love to.
Please.
So, changes made to the dub. It's, you know, this era of Pokemon, the dubs are generally fairly faithful.
Yeah, I do want to point out one thing that I feel like was quite different, and it's Todd's attitude.
Yes. No, everybody.
Because that's just the classic English dub thing. It's like everyone just kind of gets like more of an attitude. And my favorite line change in the entire episode is really early on when Ash first like attacks Todd in the grass.
Yeah.
And he
yep.
stops and everything.
But you see, this camera is my life. Get yourself a new life.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like he's so vitriol about it. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, it really... But that's something I noticed a lot. Like, for about the first 10 minutes of the episode, everybody in the dub is angrier
so
and
snippy.
meaner than
Yeah.
they were.
But why?
And but they calm down after they've had the pancakes. So was it just hanger?
Probably.
You know, if my rice floated down the river, I guess I wouldn't be so happy either.
Rice floats down the river. There's a stranger taking pictures of you. Maybe we can let it slide.
But yeah, like as we said earlier, the rice balls were kept in.
These rice balls are pretty good.
Even the gun was kept in, which
Yeah.
really shocked me.
Yeah.
But again, because it's just in Ash's imagination, they're like, okay, that's fine. It wasn't a
Yeah,
real one.
but I think didn't the episode before this have a gun that was left in for the dub as well?
Yeah, because they also explain that it's not real.
Yeah, I guess so.
So every time that it's not real in some aspect, they're like, okay, fine. But the second it's real, like in the Safari Zone episode,
Yeah,
can't get it
that's
out.
the thing. Like the Safari episode, we didn't even get in English because of the
Exactly.
guns. So.
Nothing is funnier than watching through the anime in the English dub, and you get to the point where they're like, oh, we made it to the Safari Zone, but it's the nature reserve, and they have the whole race episode, and then later it's just like suddenly they're like, after leaving the Safari Zone, you're like, what?
Yeah,
Hello?
yeah, and then like 20 episodes later, when they're looking at Ash's Pokemon, and Professor Oak is like, yeah, they're mostly Tauros from the Safari Zone. It's like, what? When did that happen?
Oh, so I'm not crazy. I was watching that as a kid. I was like, where did all these Soros come from?
Yeah, because they were in a
Yeah.
Japanese-only episode.
Yeah, we didn't get that episode. It's such a shame as well because it's a really
It's
funny
such a
episode.
funny episode.
Like basically Ash is in a contest with Team Rocket and they have 30 balls and it's like whoever can catch 30 Pokemon wins. And every time Ash sees another Pokemon, he throws a ball at it and then this herd of Tauros run by and he catches one of those instead.
Yeah, it's like one of the best gags ever. Like, genuinely, go out of your way, watch that episode. It's so funny.
Yeah, we will cover that episode eventually because
Good,
it's
good.
significant for the fact that it was never translated, or apparently it was dubbed and it just never released.
Yes, a lot of those was that case where they were like, all right, we've done it. And they went, nah, but I don't really want you to release it.
Didn't they even dub the Porygon one?
Yeah.
And then just not release it?
I believe so.
Which is wild.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as always with this show, or at this point anyway, they have kept all of the Japanese music, but they've also added in a ton of new music for the dub.
Yeah, there's a lot more tracks.
Any part in the Japanese version where there wasn't any music playing, 4Kids have gone in and thrown in some music.
I mean, what are you going to do with all that silence? You might have thoughts.
I know, you might hear the birds.
Heaven forbid.
Might start thinking about Kirby. I don't know.
So many of the quiet shots in the Japanese version, you just kind of hear bird song in the background, and it's quite sweet.
They're in nature. It makes sense.
Yeah.
They didn't want the gay thoughts to creep in between the silence.
Then they shouldn't have made Team Rocket. What?
I mean,
Oh, the Blastoise pun. I was really curious about how they were going to handle the Blastoise pun.
I'm a photography master. They dropped the whole prodigy. This Todd is proudful. He is a master. He's not a prodigy.
Yeah. Yes, he describes himself as a photography master, and then Ash mishears that as masker. And then that's why Todd's wearing a Blastoise mask.
Oh.
Yeah, honestly, it was pretty clever localization. They did pretty good.
Like the best they could have possibly done. For fixing an untranslatable pun, that was pretty good. The Japanese pun wasn't even that good in the first place.
That's true.
No, honestly, I almost feel like the English actually did better in a weird way.
Yeah, almost. I had a note about the get yourself a new life line. But I also had a note about another line in the dub that really stood out to me.
I hope it's also the one I was thinking of. Keep going.
Okay, it's when they're all getting out their Pokemon for Todd to look at. And Misty says,
I have Pokemon you can shoot too.
Oh no.
Yep. It's like such a weird fucking phrasing when you think about it. You're like, huh.
Yeah. It really immediately jumped out to me.
Yeah. Because I decided, since I had watched the English dub so many times, I watched the Japanese first and then followed up with the English after that for this refresher. And that does make you like sit there and evaluate what the English actually says so much more.
Yes, yeah. It makes a lot of the changes stand out in ways that I wouldn't have noticed before, I think, as well. Like, for example, when Meowth pulls out the magazine article when Ash and his friends are in the hole and Team Rocket are trying to figure out what the hell Todd is doing. In the English version, they zoomed in on the picture of Todd and erased all the Japanese text.
Yeah.
Which I kind of get. But I wish they had actually made the effort to write some English text.
Right, how hard would that have been?
Probably not that hard.
Like a moderate level difficulty.
Yeah. Easier, though, than the... way back in the second episode or something, I can't remember what episode, maybe the Brock episode, when they had the Pokemon League poster, and they replaced all the text on it, and it looked really good.
It looked great, yeah. You wouldn't even really think about it otherwise.
Yeah, this would have been easier to do than that was, but they didn't do anything.
Yeah, weren't they in the habit of just completely painting over any Japanese text?
They got into that habit, and they stayed in that habit, because we saw that on Kirby, didn't we, last time we looked at it?
Oh, yeah?
They painted out the restaurant sign on Kawasaki's restaurant and just left it blank.
Rude.
So that's it. That's all the changes I noticed. But there's 2 dubs of this episode that exist.
Yes, okay, I was hoping you'd bring that up.
Yeah, we had to talk about it.
Because I own that.
Do you own the original one?
Yep.
Yeah, I heard that that's the one they put on DVD and VHS for some reason.
Yep. They, I definitely, until they really did confirm it, in, what was that, 2007 when they put it on the Wii
It was
shop?
2007, yeah.
Okay. And they finally were like, his name is Todd Snap, because we couldn't decide back in the day if he was called Todd or Snap.
Yeah, so originally when this dub aired, he was called Snap, and everybody calls him Snap, and he calls himself Snap. And then there was another dub that came out a little bit later where everybody calls him Todd.
His actual name instead of the weird nickname.
Yeah.
The story that goes around on the internet, which just seems to be uncritically accepted everywhere, to the point where Bulbapedia has it in the trivia section on Pokemon Snap, says that Todd's name was dubbed as Snap because it was the default name for him in Pokemon Snap. But because of legal issues with Kellogg's over the name of one of the mascots of Rice Krispies, the episode was redubbed and aired with the name Todd instead. This story is BS. That's not true at all.
That's just not how that works.
Yeah, like, there are a lot of things wrong with it. It's funny because I generally consider Bulbapedia quite...
They're almost accurate, like, I would say 99.9% of the time. But there are these few things like this that slip through because no one just really is kind of... It's been so long that fact-checking it feels like not a thing to do.
Yeah, people just, like, accept this as the truth. Like, legally, Kellogg's cannot own the word Snap. That's not a thing that could happen. If they did, changing the name of the character would be a much lower priority than changing the name of the game.
Yes.
because that's the actual product using the word Snap. But also, there is no version of Pokemon Snap where Todd's default name was Snap.
Yeah.
He has always been called Todd in every version of the game.
What it really felt like, at least from, my expertise in Pokemon, is that they were kind of following the similar name scheme they did a lot of the times when they localized things, where they just name you after your passion. Like, Tracy's name is a reference to artistry, and so that...
So my theory is, because this episode aired a good couple months before the game came out in the US, I just figured 4Kids didn't know what they were going to call him yet.
Yeah, 100%. And so they just named him after a passion and the title of the game.
Yeah, exactly. To make it because it's like we said earlier, it's not clear that this is a tie-in.
Yeah, there's nothing else that overtly really connects them.
But you name the character Snap, and then it makes you think of Pokemon Snap. It makes sense.
Yep.
Or it will in a few months when it comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think once the game came out in a couple months, they were like, oh, wait, his name's supposed to be Todd. So then they did a fixed dub.
Yep.
Using the correct name. Because for years, I always knew him as Todd because, I had the game and I had the manual. And the manual says his name is Todd. There's nothing in the game. There's no default name in the game. You have to enter one.
You have to enter a name, yeah.
Yeah, but the manual told me his name was Todd, so I named him Todd when I first played it.
Mm-hmm.
And then this trivia started coming up, and people were saying that he was called Snap in the game. And I thought, well, maybe he was in the American version. Maybe Todd was just a European name or something. But I actually downloaded a PDF of the US manual, and it still says his name is Todd. So.
Yeah, it's Snap was never his game name.
No.
And it was just adopted later on when it was ported to the Wii's eShop, and they called him Todd Snap on, I think, just the official website.
Yeah, Pokemon.com.
Yeah.
Actually, apparently it was when they had a news post about the episode re-airing.
Yes, that's
somewhere.
right. Because they were gonna for the specials, they were gonna do those 3 episodes again.
Right. Yeah. So yes, that was in 2007. You were right.
Okay. Score 1 for memory.
So yeah, Todd Snap. But I don't think they've ever referred to him as that again since then.
Not any time I can really think of. Because again, in new Pokemon Snap, he is just Todd. He's Todd. I don't know.
He doesn't go by his full government name.
No. But he did grow up pretty hot. But that's not the point.
Neither here nor there.
Yeah, listen, my thirst for a fictional man is not,
Not on trial here.
Yeah, we don't need to examine that on this podcast. That's for a different podcast.
That's the after show.
Oh, we could do a Patreon episode.
We can't let my tastes come out. I like Reaver from Fable. Who does that?
Me.
I figured someone would get me.
I figured there was another freak out there.
Yeah. Of course we'd wind up here, together, talking about Pokemon.
That's just the trajectory.
The Pokemon to Reaver from Fable pipeline?
Yeah.
Naturally.
We take it. Yeah.
There's a solid breadcrumb line from Todd Snap to Reaver. So, Mel.
Yes.
This is the part of the show where you demand to know about the legacy
I
of the
need
episode.
to know the legacy, Mike.
It's coming. I swear.
I need those papers on my desk immediately.
Need more photos of Spider Pikachu.
For most of it, we've kind of talked about it already a little bit. The legacy of this episode is that Todd continued to travel with Ash and friends for the next few episodes.
And then made another appearance later.
Yep, he reappeared during the Johto arc in 2001. So he was missing for a good 2 years and then came back.
Yeah.
He spent 2 years searching for that Articuno.
With the Krabby.
With the Krabby.
And then he goes on to... He vanishes for 2 decades and then makes a small appearance in Pokemon Journeys in 2022. So, he still existed in the mythos of the anime.
What's he been up to?
It's really surprising. I mean, it was surprising enough I almost feel like if we didn't get new Pokemon Snap, he would not have appeared in Journeys. I almost feel that.
Well, they did say, I remember there was an interview with the Japanese staff, and they did say that for Journeys, they planned to include everybody Ash had ever traveled with at some point. Some of those characters got, whole episodes and speaking roles. Some of them just kind of showed up in the background.
Okay.
I think May only made a very small appearance because I think her voice actor had retired or was ill or something. I can't remember.
There was some kind of complication with that.
But they had made a pledge for everybody Ash had traveled with to show up at some point. So I think that's the
nice.
reason.
That's good.
That Todd got his little appearance there. I don't know. Have you seen the episode that he's in?
I'm just before it, unfortunately.
Okay.
So I haven't.
Because I don't know whether he actually got a speaking role or not.
I'll let you know. My watching got a little bit slowed down because I started watching it with somebody else, and so it kind of depends on if the mood, even though I always want to watch Pokemon.
That's how it goes.
Someone goes, hey, you want to watch a Pokemon movie? Doesn't matter which one. I'm like, yes.
I will
Sign me
drop
up.
everything I'm doing.
100%.
Also, Todd, as we've mentioned, appears in new Pokemon Snap.
He's a handsome, handsome man.
And in the Japanese version, he's actually played by the same actor who plays him in the show.
That's
cute.
It's so sweet, honestly.
So yeah, that's really nice. Not true in the English version. It's
Nope.
a new
It
voice
never
in the English
is.
version, but
Never will be.
No.
I wasn't super jazzed about the voice they gave him in the dub anyway. So
It's very mediocre.
yeah, not too beaten up about the fact that they didn't bring the original voice back
Yeah.
for us. But nice that they got the Japanese guy.
Yeah.
Japan is always so on top of that.
Oh yeah, for the culture around voice actors there is just it's night and day difference between America,
Oh yeah.
It's almost like they treat them like people.
And so like,
Yeah.
frankly, they treat them like just like powerful celebrities in a way like any actor would be, which is really nice. I like the equal feeling there,
Yeah.
Yes. I think it's because so many celebrities in Japan are voice actors because
Yeah.
they get so much of their media from overseas.
Yeah, it's kind of like the same way that like every fucking actor is also a musician here. It's like every voice actor there's probably also something else if there is another celebrity thing to do.
Right.
Yeah.
A pop idol, an actor.
Yeah.
So I guess that's it.
Yeah.
We
The
did.
legacy is that it made me a little freak about Pokemon Snap. And now I speedrun it.
Yeah, I can't remember. I feel like maybe Pokemon Snap was already out here by the time we got this episode.
I definitely saw the episode after the game came out because of my age.
Oh
But,
yeah. But I think I did too, and I was watching at the time, so
I think this is my first time seeing this episode.
yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, this episode was in the period when it was difficult for me to watch Pokemon
Yeah.
because they had moved it to an after school slot and I didn't get home from school in time to see it anymore.
Lame.
Because I walked to school and it was a good like half-hour walk.
Yeah.
And I think Pokemon was like the first thing on after the bell rang, so
Rude.
there were a couple times I had a friend who lived closer, and there were a couple of times I would go to her house just to watch Pokemon and then
So
head home.
good. What a good legacy.
Yeah. It's a good show. I feel like I keep saying this whenever we watch Pokemon, but when I'm thinking about my favorite anime, I don't often go to Pokemon because this is one of the first anime I ever watched, and it's just kind of background noise to me now. But it really is one of my favorite anime. I feel like Pokemon is like such a perfect example of how to adapt a game into
Yeah,
an anime.
For sure.
They've done it really well for this show. I don't have any other problems I have with the other. We watched like Kirby and F-Zero and stuff, and I'm like, why did they add all these extra unnecessary characters?
And not Captain Falcon.
They're not Captain
Not Captain Falcon. He sure is not in there at all.
They keep promising him, but I haven't seen him.
Yeah. Didn't we? I think we've watched the episode that's called Captain Falcon and does not contain Captain Falcon.
Jesus.
He shows up briefly.
I think Pokemon as like a world lends itself to the notion of the faces you meet who affect you for your life. You know,
Yes.
like nobody's meant to be lingering with you for too long. You are meant to make memories in the moment and move on from that. And so that translates so well into a show that is just, it's, you know, the traveling is 1-to-1, the goals are 1-to-1, and like the overall feeling of exploration there.
Yeah. The first episode of Pokemon, we talked about it when we watched it, but the first episode of Pokemon is so rare in first episodes because so many of them spend all their time on explaining the world and then don't get to actually doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Or sometimes they spend all that time doing something, but they haven't explained the world to us enough, so we don't feel like we understand what's going on. But Pokemon, it so solidly split itself into almost too many episodes, where you get the first half of the episode that is just explaining everything, and then the second half is it's almost its own self-contained little adventure that endears you to the characters and everything. And
Yeah, it's just a nice balance.
I think it might be the best first episode of something that we ever watched.
For sure.
Honestly, I could see that.
Like, it could fully exist as just an anime without having the IP of Pokemon behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But boy, do I love those games, so...
But boy,
keep
do
them
I
coming.
love Pokemon.
But, like, 3 years in between or something, please.
Yes, please. Oh, I'm so glad that we don't have any new games coming out this year.
No new games this year. We don't even have a solid date for the next... It's great. This is the best. Genuinely.
No, I miss the bugs. I miss turning into a nightmare creature.
Yeah, I miss getting on my dragon and seeing all my limbs stretch out spaghetti style.
I love it when my head would just do a full 360 rotation.
Actually, that one should be a feature. Hold on. Dedicated 360 button.
They have a twirl feature. Now twirl my head.
God, the first 2 seconds of playing Scarlet Violet, and I did the little twirl and stumble thing, and I went, that's where all their budget went. That was a really good stumble.
I just really want them to get back to what they used to do, where it was like, well, there's not going to be a game for a year, but we will slowly trickle some new Pokemon into the show.
If you're
Yeah.
good.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Remember when they gave us Togepi and Marill and Snubbull?
Remember
And we were all so
Peekaboo?
excited. Yes.
Oh, Peekaboo.
Oh, I was on that website.
Oh, hell yeah. I definitely, that's like the weird early era shit where it's just kind of like, man, what was that like, you know?
Yeah. Oh, it was so weird because it was this like fan site, and it was just JPEGs posted on a repeating pattern background.
Yeah, I've seen screenshots. I was like,
And like half of the ones that they showed were real, and then
Yeah.
half of them were just like nonsense Pokegods.
It's your job to decipher which was which.
So you had your Peekaboo, and you had your Ho-Oh, and then you had like Nidogod and Mew3 and
Zapmalcuno.
oh god, we can't start a manga podcast.
No, because I don't want to read the manga.
No. I read up to the point where there was the Eevee that evolves into different forms and then evolves backwards.
Like a
yeah.
Yeah, and I was kind of like, I don't want to read any more of this.
Yeah, that's about the place, yeah.
I knew that Zapmalcuno was coming too. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
Elliot, is there anything that you would like to promote?
Yeah, I run a shop, ko-fi.com/curiosghosty. It's curios, not curious. It's curios, I promise. It's a curio shop. I take commissions. I stream on Twitch Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. And I sell at conventions in the southern Arizona area. Any of the big ones, I'm gonna be there. You will look at me. Thank you.
That is not optional. Do it right now.
No, you're book that flight. I know a lot of you are in California now. Come on, it's a state over.
Mike, is there anything you would like to promote?
You've been listening to Super Breakfast Friends Club. Please like and subscribe, and whatever else you feel like doing. You can find us on patreon.com/Super Breakfast Friends Club for some exclusive content, and for us to thank you at the end of episodes, like this. Thank you to Jamie Core, our #1 Club VIP.
Thank you, Jamie.
We love you, Jamie. And anybody else who wants to join Jamie, I already told you where to go.
Why aren't you going? They're trying to find that Peekaboo repeating background website.
The mystery's over. Move on.
The mystery will never die in my heart. Peekaboo is real.
You can also find us on coffee.com. Is it
It's coffee. I say Ko-Fi because I'm a little fucking lo-fi beats to study 2 loser. But it's coffee.
Well, now we've got it both ways on here, so
Yeah,
nobody
so
can be
all of you are
confused.
happy, okay? Don't write to me complaining, please.
I also stream at Skull Pirate Mike on Twitch, and, you know, if you just look for Skull Pirate Mike on your favorite social media, I might be there.
Maybe.
Or it might be an imposter.
You on OnlyFans?
For a price.
Oh, shit. You too can find me as Marquis Mustard on OnlyFans.
Oh, that's where the name's for.
Things you're too ashamed to put your actual name on. I get it.
Look, I'm a married man. I don't know what to tell you.
Bye!
Bye.
It's definitely a show where, like, nothing they've done feels... I lost track of that thought.
That's okay.
I'll cut this part out.
It's okay.